What if I told you that many of the breakthroughs we take for granted, like advances in science, medicine, and mathematics, owe a debt not just to the Renaissance, but to a remarkable period in history often overlooked? Welcome to Armchair Archaeology, the channel where we uncover the hidden stories of ancient civilizations and reveal how their innovations shaped the modern world. Today, we're diving into the incredible legacy of the Islamic Golden Age, a time when knowledge wasn't just preserved, but transformed, fueling discoveries that reshaped humanity. And here's something amazing. In the 10th century, a scholar named Al-Biruni calculated the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy nearly 1,000 years before modern instruments confirmed his findings. And if you're as fascinated by these stories as we are, we've got something special for you. Our exclusive ebook, Secrets of the Ancient World. This beautifully designed guide takes you beyond today's video, highlighting some of history's most fascinating innovations, from ancient plumbing systems to lost technologies rediscovered centuries later. It's the perfect companion for anyone curious about how the past continues to inspire our present. Before diving in, here's a quick reminder. Over 90% of our viewers aren't subscribed. If you're enjoying these deep dives into history, help us build a strong community of curious minds by hitting the subscribe button. Your support makes a world of difference. So let's grow this journey together. The Islamic Golden Age emerged during a time of contrasts. While much of Europe was struggling through the Middle Ages, fragmented by feudal conflicts and plagued by intellectual stagnation, the Islamic Empire stood as a beacon of unity and progress. Stretching from the Iberian Peninsula to Central Asia, the empire became a melting pot of cultures, creating an environment ripe for innovation and exchange. Central to this flourishing was the Abbasid Caliphate, established in 750 CE. Its capital, Baghdad, was strategically located along major trade routes, allowing it to become a hub of commerce, culture, and ideas. Known as the Jewel of the World, Baghdad was home to an extraordinary mix of peoples and traditions, from Greek and Persian scholars to Indian mathematicians. Visionary leaders like Harun al-Rashid and al-Mamun invested heavily in learning, sponsoring scholars, and establishing institutions like the House of Wisdom. Religion also played a significant role in shaping this intellectual renaissance. The Quran and Hadith emphasized the pursuit of knowledge, portraying it as a noble and divine act. This encouragement extended to understanding the natural world, blending faith with reason in ways that inspired inquiry across disciplines. In contrast, Europe's fragmented kingdoms had limited access to classical knowledge, with many texts lost or forgotten. The Islamic Empire, by contrast, became a sanctuary for these works, preserving and expanding upon them. Manuscripts from Greece, India, and Persia were translated into Arabic, ensuring that humanity's shared heritage would not only survive, but thrive. This unique combination of political stability, cultural diversity, and religious encouragement sparked one of history's most extraordinary periods of intellectual flourishing. It was a moment when the pursuit of knowledge became a driving force, shaping a legacy that would influence civilizations far beyond its time. In the bustling city of Baghdad stood one of history's greatest centers of learning, the House of Wisdom, Bayt al-Hikmah. Established in the 9th century under Caliph al-Mamun, this extraordinary institution embodied the spirit of the Islamic Golden Age. The House of Wisdom was far more than a library. It was a global intellectual hub where scholars from diverse backgrounds gathered to exchange ideas, translate ancient texts, and create new knowledge. Greek, Persian, Indian, and Chinese works were collected, ensuring that wisdom from across the known world converged in Baghdad. Key figures like Hunayn ibn Ishaq played pivotal roles in this translation effort, rendering the works of Plato, Aristotle, Galen, and others into Arabic. These translations were not mere copies. Scholars added commentaries and critiques, refining the original ideas and integrating them with Islamic perspectives. Collaboration flourished within the House of Wisdom. Scientists, mathematicians, and philosophers worked together, challenging and building on each other's findings. This intellectual cross-pollination led to groundbreaking discoveries in fields as varied as astronomy, medicine, and mechanics. The ripple effects of the House of Wisdom extended far beyond Baghdad. Books and manuscripts produced there were distributed across the empire, spreading knowledge to regions like Al-Andalus and Persia. This diffusion of ideas ensured that the advancements made in the Islamic world reached far and wide. The House of Wisdom's impact was profound, showing how a commitment to intellectual openness and collaboration can transform society. Its legacy reminds us that great achievements often emerge from the meeting of diverse minds and traditions. Stories like these are just the beginning. In Secrets of the Ancient World, you'll find even more about how ancient civilizations pushed boundaries and shaped the future. It's the perfect companion for anyone who loves uncovering hidden history. The translation movement was a cornerstone of the Islamic Golden Age, a monumental effort that preserved ancient wisdom while transforming it into something new. Spearheaded by the Abbasid Caliphate, this initiative sought to gather, translate, and expand the knowledge of earlier civilizations. Its impact was profound, ensuring that humanity's intellectual inheritance was not lost during turbulent times. Under caliphs like Harun al-Rashid and al-Ma'mun, scholars traveled across the empire and beyond to collect manuscripts from Greece, Persia, India, and China. These texts spanned a wide array of disciplines, including philosophy, astronomy, medicine, and mathematics. At the center of this movement was Baghdad's House of Wisdom, a hub where these works were studied and translated into Arabic. Translators like Hunayn ibn Ishaq and al-Kindi were pivotal to this process. They translated works by Aristotle, Plato, and Hippocrates, often adding commentaries that clarified or challenged the original ideas. This critical engagement produced innovations of its own. For example, translations of Ptolemy's Almagest were refined with new astronomical observations, advancing the study of celestial mechanics. The movement wasn't confined to Baghdad. Cities like Cordoba in Spain and Damascus also became centers for intellectual exchange, spreading these texts and ideas across the empire. By the time Europe rediscovered these works in the 12th century, they had been enriched by centuries of Islamic scholarship. The translation movement was more than preservation. It was a revival and reinvention of knowledge. This remarkable effort bridged ancient and modern worlds, influencing the Renaissance and shaping the intellectual landscape for centuries to come. Isn't it fascinating how the knowledge of ancient civilizations found new life during this era? Want to explore more mysteries like this? Hit subscribe to join us on more journeys through history. The Islamic Golden Age was shaped by remarkable individuals whose contributions forever changed the course of human knowledge. These pioneers didn't just safeguard ancient wisdom, they expanded it, creating entirely new fields and methodologies. Al-Khwarizmi, often called the father of algebra, is one of the most celebrated figures of this era. His work, the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing, formalized algebra as a distinct mathematical discipline. He introduced systematic methods for solving linear and quadratic equations, and the term algorithm derives from his name. Al-Khwarizmi's adoption and adaptation of Arabic numerals, rooted in Indian mathematics, further revolutionized calculations, enabling more complex and efficient problem-solving. In medicine, Ibn Sina, or Avicenna, authored the Canon of Medicine, a monumental encyclopedia synthesizing Greek, Roman, and Islamic medical knowledge. His work introduced groundbreaking concepts such as the contagious nature of diseases and the importance of quarantine. The Canon became a cornerstone of medical education in both the Islamic world and Europe, used for centuries as a standard reference. Ibn al-Haytham, al-Hazan, a pioneer of optics, introduced the scientific method. His experiments on light proved that vision occurs when rays travel from objects to the eye, overturning earlier theories. His rigorous approach to testing hypotheses laid the foundation for modern experimental science, influencing luminaries like Newton. Figures like Al-Farabi, who integrated Greek philosophy with Islamic thought, and Al-Biruni, whose achievements in geography and astronomy were unparalleled, showcase the extraordinary intellectual diversity of this era. These innovators didn't merely expand knowledge, they shaped the disciplines that define our understanding of the world today. If the incredible achievements of figures like Ibn Sina and Al-Khwarizmi fascinate you, you'll love what's inside Secrets of the Ancient World. It's filled with stories of ancient innovators and the breakthroughs that continue to shape our world. Click the link in the pinned comment to learn more. Mathematics during the Islamic Golden Age saw revolutionary advancements that transformed the field and laid the groundwork for modern science, engineering, and commerce. Islamic scholars didn't just preserve ancient mathematical knowledge, they expanded it, introducing innovative concepts and methods that reshaped how we understand and use numbers. One of the most significant figures in this field was Al-Khwarizmi, whose work defined the foundations of algebra. His treatise, the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing, formalized algebra as a distinct mathematical discipline and introduced systematic approaches to solving linear and quadratic equations. The very term algebra derives from the Arabic word al-jabr, used in his work. Al-Khwarizmi also introduced algorithms, procedures for solving problems that underpin modern computing, and his name lives on in the term algorithm. Another groundbreaking contribution was the introduction and refinement of Arabic numerals, adapted from Indian mathematics. These numerals, along with the concept of zero, revolutionized arithmetic by simplifying calculations and making them more efficient. This system eventually replaced the cumbersome Roman numerals in Europe, transforming commerce and science. Islamic scholars also made significant strides in trigonometry. Figures like Al-Biruni refined trigonometric tables and introduced functions like sine, cosine, and tangent. These advancements were crucial for astronomy and navigation, enabling precise calculations of planetary movements and geographic locations. Mathematics during the Islamic Golden Age wasn't just an academic pursuit. It had real-world applications. It supported developments in architecture, engineering, and astronomy, demonstrating the practical power of numbers. The legacy of these breakthroughs remains a cornerstone of mathematics, influencing disciplines from physics to finance. The Islamic Golden Age revolutionized medicine and healthcare, blending ancient knowledge with innovative practices that transformed the field. Islamic physicians not only preserved works from Greece, Rome, and India, but also enhanced them, creating a foundation for modern medical science. One of the most influential figures in this era was Ibn Sina, or Avicenna, whose Canon of Medicine became a cornerstone of medical education for centuries. This encyclopedic work synthesized knowledge from earlier traditions and introduced groundbreaking ideas. Ibn Sina's emphasis on clinical trials, evidence-based treatments, and the contagious nature of diseases was revolutionary. His text also detailed the anatomy of the human body and pharmacological remedies, many of which remain relevant today. The healthcare system itself saw remarkable advancements. Islamic hospitals, known as bimaristans, were among the first to adopt a systematic approach to patient care. These institutions were open to all, regardless of background, and featured specialized wards for different ailments, pharmacies, and medical libraries. Doctors trained within these hospitals, ensuring the consistent application of medical practices. Surgical techniques also advanced significantly during this time. Al-Zahrawi, often called the father of modern surgery, wrote extensively about surgical instruments and procedures in his Kitab al-Tasrif. This 30-volume medical encyclopedia became a vital reference for European and Islamic physicians alike. Public health initiatives further demonstrated the era's forward-thinking approach. Cities invested in sanitation systems, clean water supplies, and public baths, recognizing the importance of hygiene in disease prevention. Physicians emphasized diet, exercise, and mental well-being, pioneering concepts that remain central to healthcare today. These advancements in medicine and healthcare not only saved lives during the Islamic Golden Age, but also set the standard for medical practices across cultures, leaving a legacy that endures in hospitals and universities worldwide. What do you think about the advancements of this era? Were you surprised by how modern they seem? Comment your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you. Astronomy and engineering flourished during the Islamic Golden Age, producing groundbreaking advancements that reshaped humanity's understanding of the cosmos and solved practical challenges on Earth. Driven by both intellectual curiosity and practical needs, scholars of this era developed tools and theories that influenced science and technology for centuries. Astronomy was a key focus, blending theoretical exploration with everyday applications. Islamic astronomers refined Greek and Indian models, creating precise star charts and calculating planetary movements with astonishing accuracy. Al-Biruni, a prominent figure, corrected errors in Ptolemy's Almagest and refined the length of the solar year. His work laid the groundwork for later astronomers, including Copernicus, who used Islamic findings to develop heliocentric theory. Practical tools like the astrolabe reached new levels of sophistication during this time. Perfected by Islamic scholars, the astrolabe was used for navigation, timekeeping, and determining prayer times, essential for daily life. It became a symbol of the era's ingenuity, blending art and science. In engineering, Islamic innovators like Al-Jazari pushed the boundaries of mechanics. His book, The Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices, detailed water clocks, automated machines, and advanced irrigation systems. Many of his inventions, such as crankshafts and pumps, became precursors to modern machinery. His creativity demonstrated how engineering could be both functional and artistic. Urban planning also benefited from these advancements. Cities featured sophisticated water management systems, aqueducts, and underground canals that ensured clean water supply in arid regions. Timekeeping devices, from elaborate water clocks to sundials, showcased the era's precision in merging engineering with scientific principles. The synergy between astronomy and engineering during the Islamic Golden Age was transformative. These innovations not only enhanced the quality of life, but also inspired future generations, proving that progress often emerges from the union of science and practical ingenuity. Philosophy during the Islamic Golden Age wasn't just a preservation of ancient ideas. It was a dynamic process of integration, critique, and innovation. Scholars engaged with Greek, Persian, and Indian philosophies, weaving these traditions into a uniquely Islamic intellectual framework that emphasized both reason and faith. One of the leading figures was Al-Farabi, known as the second teacher after Aristotle. Al-Farabi explored metaphysics, ethics, and political philosophy, attempting to harmonize Greek philosophy with Islamic thought. His writings on the ideal state influenced Islamic governance and even resonated with later European philosophers. He saw reason and religion as complementary forces, a perspective that shaped intellectual discourse for centuries. Ibn Rushd, or Averroes, expanded this tradition with his groundbreaking commentaries on Aristotle. Ibn Rushd argued that reason and faith were not in conflict, but could coexist harmoniously. His work bridged Islamic and Western thought, inspiring thinkers like Thomas Aquinas and sparking debates in medieval Europe about the nature of knowledge and belief. Philosophy wasn't limited to abstract ideas. It also had practical implications. Scholars used logic to refine methodologies in science, medicine, and law. For instance, their emphasis on critical thinking and structured debate influenced the development of the scientific method. The intellectual freedom to question and explore fostered a culture where progress flourished across disciplines. The era's philosophical contributions underscored the importance of inquiry. By blending reason with spiritual understanding, Islamic philosophers created a legacy that influenced not only their contemporaries, but also the Renaissance and beyond. Their work reminds us of the enduring value of asking profound questions and seeking thoughtful answers. It's incredible how these ideas crossed centuries and cultures. Want to learn about more moments where history connects the ancient and modern worlds? Don't forget to subscribe. The achievements of the Islamic Golden Age didn't remain confined to the Islamic world. This era played a pivotal role in transmitting ancient and newly expanded knowledge to Europe, setting the stage for the Renaissance and shaping the course of Western intellectual history. During the 12th and 13th centuries, Europe began to rediscover the works of ancient Greece and Rome, often through Arabic translations. Cities like Toledo in Spain became key centers for this intellectual exchange. In Toledo's translation schools, scholars such as Gerard of Cremona translated Arabic texts into Latin, reintroducing Europe to the works of Aristotle, Ptolemy, and Galen, as well as the original contributions of Islamic thinkers like Al-Khwarizmi and Avicenna. These translations were not merely academic exercises, they had transformative effects on European thought. Avicenna's Canon of Medicine became a foundational text in European medical schools, shaping healthcare practices for centuries. Al-Khwarizmi's mathematical works introduced algebra and Arabic numerals to Europe, revolutionizing commerce, navigation, and engineering. Ibn al-Haytham's theories of optics inspired the development of instruments like the telescope and microscope. Islamic philosophers, particularly Ibn Rushd, Averroes, also had a profound influence. His commentaries on Aristotle sparked debates about reason and faith, inspiring European thinkers such as Thomas Aquinas. These exchanges bridged the gap between ancient knowledge and Europe's intellectual revival. The legacy of the Islamic Golden Age demonstrates the power of cultural exchange. By preserving and enhancing the wisdom of earlier civilizations, Islamic scholars ensured that this knowledge would reach future generations, leaving a profound and lasting impact on global progress. The stories we've shared today are just a glimpse. In Secrets of the Ancient World, you'll uncover even more incredible breakthroughs, from ancient medicine to groundbreaking engineering feats. Don't miss your chance to explore history's hidden treasures. Grab your copy now. The Islamic Golden Age was a period of unparalleled intellectual and cultural achievement. But like all great eras, it eventually came to an end. Understanding the reasons behind its decline offers valuable lessons about the conditions necessary to sustain progress. One of the most devastating blows came from external forces. In 1258, the Mongols sacked Baghdad, destroying the House of Wisdom and thousands of priceless manuscripts. This event marked the end of Baghdad as a central hub of learning and dealt a significant blow to the Islamic world's intellectual infrastructure. The loss was compounded by the destruction of irrigation systems and trade networks, further destabilizing the region. Internal challenges also played a role. Political fragmentation weakened the Islamic Empire, with rival dynasties such as the Seljuks, Mamluks, and later the Ottomans prioritizing military power over the patronage of science and learning. Without centralized support, many intellectual institutions declined, and the vibrant culture of innovation began to wane. Additionally, shifts in attitudes toward inquiry and scholarship emerged in some regions. While many Islamic scholars saw no conflict between faith and reason, growing orthodoxy in certain areas discouraged exploration in fields like philosophy and the sciences. This shift limited the openness that had defined the earlier Golden Age. Despite its decline, the legacy of the Islamic Golden Age endured. The knowledge preserved and expanded upon during this era continued to influence civilizations far beyond its borders, from Renaissance Europe to the modern world. Its story is a reminder of the delicate balance required to foster and sustain intellectual and cultural flourishing. The Islamic Golden Age was a shining beacon of preservation, innovation, and collaboration. It was a time when scholars from diverse cultures came together to advance science, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy, leaving a legacy that continues to shape the modern world. This era reminds us of the transformative power of knowledge and the enduring value of curiosity. And here's that fun fact we promised. Did you know that Al-Biruni, a 10th century scholar, calculated the Earth's circumference with an astonishing degree of accuracy using just trigonometry and observations of the horizon? His estimate was within 1% of modern measurements, nearly 1,000 years before advanced instruments confirmed his work. If this journey through the Islamic Golden Age inspired you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Armchair Archaeology. Your support helps us uncover and share more incredible stories from history. Don't forget to ring the bell for updates, and let us know in the comments which ancient civilization you'd like us to explore next. If you loved today's journey, don't forget to grab your copy of Secrets of the Ancient World. Click the link in the pinned comment to uncover the untold stories of history's most brilliant innovations. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep the flame of curiosity alive.